Siyata Dishmaya. I want to do two things today. One is, I want to go over Shitas HaRambam, the Rambam's Shita. That's number one. Rambam's Shita. And through him, go to other Rishonim. And what were we searching for? I would start with 2 points, with the help of Hashem. 2 points, which we need to clarify. In the last page that I gave the Diaspora Yeshiva sheets, it's brought down as follows. Katuv Betshuvas Rosh, Klal Yutet Simen Tetzai. You guys have it? The last page. It's only 2 lines. Short 2 lines. I don't have it in the last page. The last page. There's only 2 lines. Katuv B'Tshuvas Rosh. After the second paragraph from the top. You have it? Everyone has it?
Here's the thing.
Yosef, the last page. The second paragraph.
Tshuvas Rosh Klal Yutet?
Correct. Tshuvas Rosh Klal Yutet. You have it, Eliyahu?
I have it.
Rabbi Gavriel, you have it? And in the last page of the Diaspora Yeshiva sheets, there is in the second paragraph from the top, Katav B'Tshuvat HaRosh Klal Yutet. You have it there? Okay.
It's part of the Darkei Moshe.
What?
It's part of the Darkei
After Darkei Moshe. Right, the next paragraph. Katav B'Tshuvat HaRosh Klal Yutet Siman Tetzai. The Rosh, he had a shaila and shuv. When people asked him a question, he gave an answer. And he asked, Ala shoyse yain nesech b'shoygig b'meiskaper. If somebody drinks yain nesech by mistake, the rabbi from the Reformed synagogue took you there. B'shoygig. What does the kapora you need? When he drinks yain nesech b'shoygig. Mamash. Shamati shoyim v'shem hachosid. Said, I heard, the Rosh says, I heard the name of the chosid Rabbeinu Yoino. Probably. Shis'ane chamisho yom. He has to fast 5 days. 36 hours, I'm joking. 5 days. Shis'ane chamesh yomim. He should fast 5 days. Keneged chamesh pa'amim gefen shebachumash. Against 5 times that it says the word gefen, grapes, in the Chumash. 5 days. The question is, if somebody drinks stam yeinom b'shoygeg, does he need tshuva or not? Again, somebody goes and he gets wine, ordinary wine of goyim, not yain nesech, stam yeinom. And he drinks from a goy, belongs to a goy. He doesn't know if he did this or not. Stam yeinom. He goes and he buys it.
Not intentional.
Does he need it without intentionally? B'shoygeg without intention.
Not intentional.
Oh, you drink it from a goy.
Not intention.
Without intention, he drinks a stam yeinom of a goy. Does it need kapor or not? Again, the Tshuvas HaRosh. Rabbi Socher is around. Around. Whiskey, brandy, vodka, we're going to speak about today. I hope he prints it out for me. We're going to speak about today. I want to talk about three things today, three subjects. But really it's all understanding the fundamental, what is a prohibition here or not? What are the three things? Number one, if somebody drinks stam yeinom b'shoigeg, ordinary wine by mistake, does he need kapor or not? The Rosh says, if I drink yain nesech b'shoigeg, I need kapor to fast 5 days, right? But if I drink stam yeinom b'shoigeg, do I need kapor or not? My question, Rabbi Goldstein from Diaspora.
Good.
What's really my question? I'll explain the depths of it. The Nesivos in Ilchois Eidus and Choshe Mishpot speaks about Psule Eidus. Who's Pasul Eidus? One who does an Aveira, even B'shoigeg is Pasul Eidus, because every share has some Pshi in it. Oinus is one thing. The question is, and the Nesivos says, if somebody went over a rabbinic prohibition, b'shogeg, that the prohibition by the rabbinic is not a prohibition be'etzem. It's a gzei or decree offense not to come on to a big avera. Okay? The Nesivos says if he does it b'shogeg, he doesn't need to do tshuva. Doesn't come home. If it's also be'etzem, this is the rabbonon. So it's also with the rabbonon, you need tshuva on it, even by mistake. But if it's the rabbonon, which is only archoko, only exera should come atu, so you don't need kapor. The question is, stam yeinom, ordinary yain. If somebody drinks or gets benefit, we're starting with drinking. Somebody drinks ordinary wine, stam yeinom, beshoigeg. Does he need kapor or not?
Put the thesis, yes.
Let's go over. What's the issue to drink? Should marry the daughters. Also, nisuch. If the oyster of nisuch ano, surely included ano, is also drinking, like we see maga goy. If a goy touches wine of a Jew, then there's no problem marrying their daughters. You're not allowed to drink it. You're not allowed to get benefit. And the prohibition to drink comes from the issue of ano. Ano includes also drinking. So if a goy touches a wine of a Jew, you're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to benefit from it. It's issue ano. And shti is part of ano. So now let's go back to yain stam yeinom. Stam yeinom, we don't allowed to drink because he might marry the daughters. Also, he cannot get benefit. And part of benefit is not to drink. Okay. But the gzei of marrying the daughters, it's an isu be'etzem or not?
The gzera that was the base upon, or the gzera itself?
The gzera that if you're going to drink wine, you marry the daughters. So there is an isu on the wine itself be'etzem?
According to the thesis, yes.
There's only a chokor.
Depends according to who.
What? Now I'm talking about B'nai Yisrael, drinking. Drinking, shtia, shum no Yisrael. Is an isu be'avodah Zarah. If I drink yain nesech, it's also be'etzem. I drink a b'shoigeg, I need kapara. But when I drink wine of stam yeinom of goyim, that is isu is you might marry the daughters. Chachomim gave it isu be'etzem, like avodah Zarah, or they gave it an isu of chash avano, that you should come on and have pleasure and enjoy and get involved with the daughters. But still, you can say, even though it's a gzeri, you might marry the daughters. But they gave it isu be'etzem.
They gave the issue hana because of yain nesek.
If the gzeira is mishum yain nesek, like when he touches my wine, there's only yain nesek. It's not a question of marrying the daughters. What's the problem, Eli? Good. Okay. Get him in a good chair there. What? Good.
There is for to say
Yes.
that yain that you get getting hana is also can bring you to their daughter. I think you talked about that a little bit.
Yes, so we ask, getting hana is isu be'etzem. The rabbis prohibit to get benefit from it or to drink it. It's isu be'etzem or zegzeri gemanaka. If it's a chashash, let's say nesech stam yeinu mishum sha'anezeh means because they menasech a lot. And the rabbi said, "Mishum chashash ha'inezeh we choishesh." Although it's not a sofik ha'inezeh, but it's a chashash ha'inezeh. So then they gave it isu be'etzem. You don't know. He said Avodah Zarah. He worship idols. He doesn't isuch. He has wine. You don't know if his wine is in the minister or not. Okay, there's percentage. But the rabbi said you don't know. He's a guy like that. Keep away, or we gave it isu b'yayin. So then the isu was what? Isu be'etzem lichoyro. But if it's only might marry the daughters, it's a chachoko. I know. So this don't drink or all that because you marry the daughters. Who say it's isu be'etzem? So if I drank a beshoigim, maybe I don't need after the fact. I'm not going to marry daughters because I didn't do it lechatchila. I did beshoigim. There's no chashash I marry the daughters. I did drank a beshoigim. And I need to do tshuva or not, or not. Depends. What's the gzeira? So mitzad b'noi sema would say it's not isu be'etzem. Mitzad yayin nesach depends. If it's a chashash, maybe it's a yayin nesach there. The rabbis did isu is right, but it's not a chashash of yayin nesach just because. There's this wine, similar to wine, and they want to protect wine. And people will say, if you permit that, people will say, or stories like that, which is only halachah. There's no isu be'etzem. So I did it b'shoig. I don't need to do tshuva.
How do we know that just because he drank wine b'shogeg, that means he won't go marry the daughters anyway?
Anyway, yes, but not because of this.
I mean, because of drinking the wine.
By mistake.
By mistake.
Mistake is a mistake.
And he drinks the wine, and he doesn't.
But that's a mistake. What a mistake means normally he doesn't drink wine. He knows it's also. By mistake he drank it. So what's a gzeira marry anymore? There's no gzeira there. Because he did it by mistake, b'shoigim. So you don't have to do tshuva on it. This is question number one. So we already said the answer depends on the shitas and etc. That's more about it. Second problem on the table, we're going to go through B'ezrat Hashem. We have a Rambam here, I hope. That's on the table for a long time. We had a Rambam here. Who's the Rambam?
Put the Rambam over here.
The Rambam there, I want to read the Rambam for everyone. I should have printed it for everyone. It's very important.
Which one?
Yes, Perek Yud Aleph. Halachah maybe Aleph to Zayin or something. Perek Yud Aleph, because my Cholas Asur. It's very important Rambam. If we don't have it, the Beis Yosef records the Rambam. You went around through the Beis Yosef.
All it's a suras?
Some of it. The Rambam, the Beis Yosef quotes the Rambam. I asked him to go in the Beis Yosef. ונראה שדס הרמב"ם, it's פרק י"א מהחול של הלוך זין, and one from Aleph to Zayin. 7 halachas. The Rambam has a very weird shita. And there's a combination, we have to really explain the shitas Rambam. That will clarify to us. And we have to really clarify through all the shitas about those questions. The Rambam says, in Perek Yud Aleph Haloch Aleph, if somebody is menasech yain, a goy takes wine, is menasech Avodah Zarah, you're not allowed to drink it or have any benefit from it. Kol shu. The word kol shu means even something, even mashu. Kol shu, even something. Again, yain nesech. Goy poured yain nesech. I cannot enjoy it. I cannot drink it. Even mashu. I drink mashu. I'm oiver lo yidbak biyot chamumo. Torah says you should not be attached to your hand. Nothing. Even muma. Even muma means something. Even something. So there's no measurement. Yain nesech, which means if I have a barrel that the barrel soaked yain nesech in it, and now I put vodka in it, and I put not brandy, but I put vodka, I put arak, machia, scotch, and it has a mashu in it. By yain nesech, you know how to drink, now to benefit even mashu, even something. Because the yesod, the prohibition of yain nesech is Avodah Zarah, and Avodah Zarah we have a posuk, lo yidbak beyot chomuhuma. Nothing can be attached to your hand.
Right.
What?
או בטוח אפילו באלף.
לא באת אפילו באלף, זה דורייסה, לא יתבגר לך מהומה.
מה? דורייסה פטור אפילו באלף? אפילו באלף?
מהומה, what's the word מהומה?
Maybe Be'in,
maybe that's Be'in.
Maybe מהומה, that's to be bein. But that's to be bein. But it's אפילו משהו. After you see the Rambam, I don't have the Rambam in front of me. Soon he's going to get it. מהומה, משהו.
What's the mashu? What's in the barrel?
Mashu, mashu is a mashu. So the Rebbe wants to say mashu that I can see. What about mashu that I can't see? What if it's only a tam? Protocols, particles. What?
We go after the road.
But lo yibak me'uma. Me'uma means afilu be'elef.
There's no, you don't need kazayis.
You don't need kazayit, you don't need revis, even mashu.
Right, but Tarubas maybe is different.
Maybe, right. With this part we have to learn. This is something we have to learn. We have to investigate. The Rambam says, but stam yeinom, you hear this, Eli? Stam yeinom. Why are you not allowed to drink stam yeinom? Marry the daughters. Why are you not allowed to have any benefit from stam yeinom? Right?
Yes.
The Rambam says the prohibition is only revis.
You drink revius?
Revis. If he drinks tam yeinom revis, then you get lashes of makas malus b'derabbanon.
Revius b'matechad.
The issue of getting lashes, it has to be a drinking of revis, which is, so the Greece, we mentioned last week, the Greece says on this Rambam, he says, what do we see here? We see here that the prohibition from this Rambam, the prohibition of stam yeinom is different from yain nesech. Now yain nesech, which is the Yisrael Avodah Zarah, the shoe was mashu. Mashu, even something. But stam yeinom, the rabbis gave it isur avano, and to me it's very good. Why? Because why I'm not allowed to drink stam yeinom? I might marry the daughters.
Right.
I have to have enjoyment to marry the daughters. Cannot enjoy. What is enjoyment? Revis. Can you enjoy wine less than revis? It's only starting to enjoy. Right? Less than revis, there's no enjoyment there. So when Chazal oiser ba'ano, they says he cannot enjoy ano of stam yeinom, has a shiur. Shtir has a shiur revis. The ano has a shiur revis. Less than shiur revis, less than the measurement of revis. You know what revis is? 86 millimeters.
That's the minimum.
That's the minimum. If he drank less, he gave you a small snap. Cup, revis. In liters, I said 86 millimeters.
With
What? Liters.
With whiskey, you will enjoy more.
You know, since we drink whiskey 86 millimeters, what?
No, so it's a problem. So why is it just dumb? It's not.
Less, again, the Rambam says, stam yeinom, less than that measurement, which means I don't give it a din of yain nesech. Although the reason why I'm not to get benefit from stam yeinom, because why? Because the do nisuch, but the chalois issue they gave to it the issue of ano, of pleasure. Ano, which has no revis.
Dafka from the wine, pleasure from the wine.
Pleasure of the wine. Revis. If I enjoy less than revis,
You're not enjoying it.
you're not enjoying it. There's no issue. There's no issue. You don't get malchus. There's no issue.
You sip it.
So the issue the rabbonon of stam yeinom is only on revis. So one second.
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Go to the
If I have whiskey that has in it a mashu of wine, a taste of wine, mashu of yain, according to the Rambam, it's also a mutar. Yes. Why?
Because there's something
Now,
there.
not yain nesech mamesh.
סתם יeinom.
I'm talking about stam yeinom. If stam yeinom, they didn't give it the issue of Avodah Zarah, of Libra Mamash. The issue of stam yeinom is a shtir revis. Less than revis are also. So now if I have less than revis, or if I have only a taste,
beautiful.
should be mutar l'chayim.
Mutter, yeah.
So can I buy a vodka
Yeah, yes.
which has a taste of cherry
Banana.
and was sitting in the barrels of wine for 18 months? That was their wine years ago. They cleaned it out. They put now the vodka and has a taste of it. Is mutar also.
According to what you said, it's mutar.
According to this Rama, it's mutar what?
Tam ki Yikar.
Okay, so I have the Yikar. How much Yikar? Less than Revis.
You taste it?
I taste the time of yain, very little minor. I taste like a slight some curve of some wine in it, taste of grapes wine in it.
It's a shiur, it's also.
Chetzi shiur of the Rabbanon is also Rabbanon. It's not the Orais. The Orais is because I is a chiyur and chetzi shiur. Allah Shor Sinai, the Gemara says in Yom is also. But chetzi shiur of or taroives of. Or tam ki ikar of. So I have the ikar, good, but it's less than shiur. It's not also. It's not. You don't get malchus. These two also the rabbanon. We have to check.
Like is in Shulchan Aruch, is it but b'shishim or b'sheish?
Or b'sheish.
Or b'sheish.
We didn't have to bring the Shulchan Aruch.
Katze shiur the rabbanon?
Ram speaks about it.
Stam yeinam.
Stam yeino. Do you need shishi to cancel it? 60 against or
Sheish.
shishi
Wait, 60 or what?
or 6.
1/6?
1/6.
That's a big difference.
Sure. Now, if you ask me, if you have Eliyahu, if I have whiskey, and they put the whiskey in barrels of wine to give it a taste. Now, what's the point of 60?
Can't taste it.
Can't taste it. But if I taste it,
Avila timer.
what?
Avila timer.
Avila timer. It was made in time that tastes also.
Shishim is
So shishim won't help. Shishim was only to assume there's no time. But it was made for time, and that's what they do it for. Any taste, and you have maybe you have to have a strong taste, or people drink a lot. You know the difference. The guy
Depends how strong it is.
What?
Depends how strong it is.
He's saying doesn't matter how strong it is, but it was made for
In
taste.
terms of the taste.
And that's what they're doing it. No, but it was made for taste. They put it there in order to give the taste. And that's the goal. If it won't be taste, you won't feel it, you won't put it there. So the Chodesh should be so also. Chodesh should be also. But which Isur? You get Malchus in it? No, you don't Malchus. Only Revis. No, Revis. There's only Isur the Rabbanon. What happens if I have a suffix if there is there or not? Suffix, I don't know. I don't know if I see a whiskey, somebody ripped the label in my house, or somebody gave it. I don't know if they have wine. I can't read it's in Dutch or Spanish or Danish. I don't know if it was sitting in wine or not. Can I drink it or not? It falls into another problem. Chesaron yediyah. If I have a suffix because I have a lack of knowledge. The Rashba says, if I have a chesaron yediyah, lack of knowledge, I don't care. It's not considered doubt. Why? It's called dat shotim. Calls it. He learns it from the laws of ktamim. If I have a suffix, if a ketem has a shiur or the right color, or if I have a suffix, if the chicken broke the wing, etc., a couple of places broke down, that the Rashba says that chesaron yediyah, lack of knowledge, you have a knowledge of shoitim, or crazy people, we don't care. No, you don't know it's your problem. It's not considered a suffix. Chesaron yediyah, it's not considered. You learn, take the AI, put it on it, will translate the language, you see what it is. I don't know. So don't drink. You don't know, chesaron yediyah is not a suffix. However, chesaron yediyah that nobody knows. The kol ha'olam don't know, nobody knows. Chesaron yediyah nobody knows is considered a chesaron yediyah, as a suffix. There's another sheet of the Ran. The Ran says that the reason why we don't follow chesaron yediyah because Chachomim gave measurement of 60 or whatever it is, measure bittul. You don't know if there was 60 or not, and it's gone already. You don't know if it was. Notnu Chachamim tzivreim l'shiurim. Everyone who make tzvekas, I don't know, not because it's dat shotim, it's knowledge of crazy people. So if you're not a shoyt, everybody knows, it's okay. He says no, a different stuff. Chacham didn't give themselves to the shul. But whatever it is, Safek Chesaron Yediyah, most poskim home does not consider suffix. So if you don't know, if you go now, you go to an airport and you want to buy a whiskey, and you don't know if this whiskey has wine or not, you're allowed to buy it or not?
Yeah.
That's taste how I know. Because a lack of knowledge, not a doubt. Even though it's a suffix that Rabbanon, Stam Yein was only rabbinic, And you don't have these for the rice, the Rabbanon, because it's not revis, you don't get lashes on it. Not even Makas Mavis, you don't get on it. It's only Chesonia, and it's a Sofek, should be Sofek the Rabbanon Lekulo. And it says no. Sofek the Rabbanon Lekulo is only when it's a Sofek. But when it's a Chesonia, because Chesonia deal lack of knowledge, it's not Shoik, I consider Sofek. So you're not allowed to buy whiskey, even if you don't know. It's a Sofek the Rabbanon, it's only rabbinic, what do you care? Sofek the Rabbanon Lekulo, those Svogas are good Svogas. Because Sofek, Chesonia deal lack of knowledge is not a doubt. You hear this?
But you usually know, it's written all the time.
But you know, but you don't know how to read, you don't know they say all those klatzerit, all those names, you don't know what it means. You know what it means. It looks all this, 90% of the people, you ask them what it means, all those words, you don't know what it means. Do you know what it means? You don't know. That's all those things, C12, you don't know what those things mean. You're not in the chemistry, you know what I mean? In the chemistry, you know where it's coming from, what it's made out of.
But if they made the Gezerah with wine,
Are you an industrial man? They know what?
if they made the Gezerah originally with wine, real wine, and here it's another tzura, it's just whiskey. So the guy don't bring that you come to my house to drink wine, yes, to Prohibition. But who says that whiskey, if it changes, it's not the wine, even if it tastes like wine, there is a problem.
Very good point. If the whole Gezerah, they might marry the daughters, when it's not be'etzem, it's only a tam, where's the marrying the daughters? Who says the Gezerah was, since according to the Rambam, you didn't bring the Rambam yet, I'm waiting for it. But since the Rambam, are you bored already?
No, I don't know, I did something, but just one page.
No, this is about vodka, brandy and vodka mixed with that's another point I went to mention. Somebody went to bring, Shlomo went to bring the Rambam, right? Who's going to come in a minute?
There's no Gezerah drinking with goyim whiskey and stuff.
So if the Isur of Bnei Seiya marrying the daughters, Rabbi, you're marrying more daughters there. Good vodka. Good stuff. The Rambam says you're not allowed to drink b'mesiba together with goyim, even beer. No, we're going to see. But that's our next week. We'll give out the papers for next week. I have the papers here. We're going to bring it out. That's Avodah Hashem. But in the mesiba, in the feast. But let's go back to us. So really, question number 2 was, which is very important to us to know, what's the Isur of Stam Yeinom? The Isur of Stam Yeinom is Isur of Avodah Zarah, even Mashu, or the Isur of Stam Yeinom is the Isur of Isur Ano. And Isur Ano has rules of Ano. Rules of Revis. My Cholos Asus, I'm reading Perek Yud Aleph. Perek Yud Aleph, Macholas Asus. Here. I'm reading Aloch Aleph. Perek Yud Aleph, Aloch Aleph. Yain shenisnasach l'avodah zarah osur ba'ano v'ashoyte mimenu kolshu. Where's the word kolshu means, Eli? What? Anything. Lo yikeh min haTorah. It gets lashes from the Torah. Goes on, and such. Yain hagoyim, Gimel Lochi Gimel, Yain hagoyim she'en anu yoidim nisnasech or lo nisnasech. Ordinary wine, I don't know if it's nisuch or not. Vu anikra stam yeinom, it's called ordinary wine. You hear this, Aaron? Osu ba'ano, you cannot get any benefit from it. Ke yain she'nisnasech. Like the law of wine has nisuch, you cannot get any benefit from it. The dover zeh migzera soifrim, it was only decree of the soifrim, decree of the rabbis. Va'ashoyte mistan yeinom revis, one who drinks revis 86 milliliters. Oh, you brought the Rambam like this. Okay, awesome. Okay, so give it out. Let's give it out. Guys, here. I'll give out. Rabbi, you want to give out here? The peckle, the bell, the peckle there. Peckle there, here.
One page everything.
Everyone has Eli, you can bring it here. Bring one. The Rambam says Halacha Gimel. Halacha Gimel. Yain, the Rambam says one who drinks Ashoitim Misam Yeinom, Revis, Maki Moiso Makazmanus. Very strange. So the Kesef Mishnah is V'af al Gav, even though Shebeyain Nesach Kosav Shiur B'Kolshu, you should להתבק בעוד חמומו מן החרם. יצס בסתם ייnom שאינו למגזר הסויפרים, שהוא רו כשאר משכין של אסורים ורביז. Although they gave prohibition because of yain nesach, and nesach kolshu, here they gave it a gzeira of isur ano. Isur ano is only reviz. Then we extend. Kol yain shigo bo agoy, any wine that a goy touched. Also, you're not allowed, a goy that touched Jewish wine, Areze also, you're not allowed to drink it. Shema nisech hoysu machshev agoy Avodah Zarah. Maybe he did nisuch in his thought, in his mind.
Wait, he touched your wine?
He touched your wine, maybe he had a thought of Avodah Zarah.
In his mind, not in reality.
Halamada, you learn from this. Shiayin Yisrael, the Jewish wine. Shanoga ba'agoy, a goy touched it. Dinoy kestamyenu shuso ma'anoy. That's with intention. Goy shanoga b'yayin shaloy b'chavona. Chedinoy goy shanoga b'yayin also b'shti. Without intention is only prohibition to drink, but not to have pleasure.
Rabbi, what does it mean when a goy touches your wine? Does it mean like he physically touches it, like in the bottle, or just the bottle? Like, what does it mean?
Touch is physical to wine.
Like he sticks his hand in the bottle?
Yes.
And touches the wine?
Yes. Zayin, Halacha Zayin, which will get to us, which Yeshiva quotes. Which quotes Halacha Zayin. Ger Toishov, a convert that is a settler in the country. He accepts 7 Noach laws. Yein also b'shti, not to drink his wine, my Mary's daughters. But you can enjoy the pleasure from his wine. Eliyahu is for you. A guy that accepts 7 Noach laws. You hear this?
Yeah.
And he touches wine or his wine. You'll have to drink his wine? No. You'll have to get benefit from his wine? Yes. Umeyachad im etzlo yain, you designate by him wine. He can guard your wine. You want to guard your wine in his room. You can have that or not? Yes. Ve'mafkidim etzlo yain, but we don't deposit. We designate in a closed area, but we don't just deposit freely wine. Happens a lot. If you have friends, family that are not Jews, or soon the Torah Mechal Shabbos Efaretzah, which deen they have. If they touch the wine, it becomes, you cannot drink it, but you're allowed to have benefit from it. V'chen kol goy she'ein oil al-Zorah. Somebody accepts 7 Noach laws, or any goy that doesn't worship Baal, get goyim elu Ishmaeli, like the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, or Muslims. Yein also b'shti, and I cannot drink the wine. Muto ba'ano, you're not enjoy it. You're not enjoy it. V'chen all kol hagonim, all the goyinim said this halach. Aval hanoitzrim, but the Christians, oiv the Avodah Zarah, and the idol worshippers. The stam yein also ba'ano, and ordinary wine is also ba'ano. So here we have a big problem.
Rabbi, is a Reformed Jew considered an idol worshiper?
Right, this is the point.
No,
Why do you say-
today definitely not.
So are you allowed to accept wine from them?
I told you no. You're allowed to accept according to my psak that I have. I've never some. Depends if they're koifer in the Torah. If not koifer in the Torah, so I said which generation. There's few generations of Reformed Jews.
Like now,
People that their parents were religious and became Reformed. There's a weak. Depends mid different. You have to each individual. I'm saying no, and I think the vast majority today have no idea what is Jewish. They believe in the Torah, but the Torah is something like this. They believe in the Torah, believe in Hashem, but they don't know what the Torah is about. They don't have to follow it. It's just an idea. They don't have an idea what is it. Like today, Israelis are Chilonim. So Rav Nebenson told me, I used to have a store. They used to drink wine. They sell wine, and there used to be a bar of wine. And Rav Nebenson gave an extra to it. And somebody came over and he said, how can you give an extra? You workers are Mechal Shabbos and Fanesim. So I ran to Rav Nebenson, all scared. I said, hey, I give an extra. So he said, if they don't deny the Torah, not koifim the Torah, you can drink lemahadri, the wine. I said, you're willing to write it down for me? He says, yes, he wrote it to me. Yipi Mori Rabbi, from his Rabbi, Rav Shlomo Zanoyelbach, lemahadri. So I went to my worker there, and I asked, do you keep Shabbat, you mechal Shabbos, you drive cars on Shabbos? He says, yes. I said, you deny the Torah? He says, Chas v'sholom. I put on tefillin every day. I try. I try what I'm doing. So from there I saw that the fact, maybe I don't need all this. There I saw that from the fact that people don't keep Shabbos doesn't show today nowadays, there's a new reality that that deny the Torah. You have to ask them. A lot of them don't deny the Torah. They try when they can, but they think Shabbos is not serious as long as they do Kiddush and they have Shabbos. And this and that. I'm watching television, going to the beach with a car, it's part of wrestling. They have wrong ideas. I don't know what? Conservative. And therefore, they're not considered when they touch wine, it's not Stam Yeno, it's not part of Stam Yeno. It's not a Mumma. Mumma is a Stam Yeno, not part of Mumma. Yes.
They're considered Apikoros, right? Apikoros?
They're not Apikoros according to this.
No, the reform.
But if, I said which reform? There's the many types. You'll find out, you're sitting around, there's a lot of different types.
Each synagogue is different.
Each synagogue, each person, which is background,
Each rabbi
it's not the same. You can't say all reforms are no good. More than that. I was in America. I went to a levaya of one of the donors of the yeshiva, and his brother died, and was in a reform synagogue. And so I should walk in, not walk in. Maybe 2,000 people were there. It's a huge synagogue, huge. Shara Shamayim, the name was, who knows what. And you had going there. Yeah, who knows what, a lot of people came in there. Christians, mixed eating. But the rabbi that spoke, he spoke about Hashem, he spoke about Lamavov Tzadikim, he spoke about good, righteous Jews that he gave donation to the shul, he did tzedakah. I said, what's going on? People don't throw on him stones. And you realize that people are so far out, and the rabbis need to produce information and Torah. They have to start digging in the Torah and the real Torah and give out information even though they don't follow it. Or they don't expect from the congregation to follow. And people believe in ideas, but it's just ideas, not reality. And if you put on tefillin for them, they're happy, put on tefillin with the mitzvah. But they don't understand the practical part of it. They're so far out, so many generations. And they don't deny the Torah. If yes, the Torah is from Hashem, I think so. I don't know.
But they changed the whole.
Some of them say yes, some of them I don't know, but probably yes. They didn't think about it. What they did, I don't think deeply. Depends on the people. So I was there in the meal, and the head of the Jewish Federation was there. He says, I'm willing to give a lot of money to do education activities in all the Reform synagogues in the city. I said, okay, so let's bring rabbis. And we'll go to all those Reform synagogues, start teaching the Torah. Are you willing to give money for this? He said, yes. I said, the Reform people will not be angry that you're sending rabbis, Orthodox rabbis, will make the people Orthodox. He said, no, they're so far out, they're so dead. They have no even opinion about it. And each individual by himself. This is a reality. They're talking about a big city in America, big industrial city. I'm not going to say mention what is it because people will figure out what I'm saying. But whatever it is, a big city in America, big, huge city, very big industries, a lot of money there. And then the Jewish Federation. They're willing to give it to religious people. I said, okay, I felt bad I had to travel back to Israel. I'm not there to do it. I asked another rabbi to do it. He never did it. He didn't get serious. He didn't maybe understand what does it mean money of the Jewish Federation. A lot of money there, but they're okay. But they're willing to open the doors. There's nothing there. It's dead. I met the rabbi. The rabbi said, he told me like this: met. I said, what is met? Met. I thought it was a new word in English. I said, no, Hebrew. Met. Dead. The Reformed community is met. Dead. Nothing there. It's dead. Big buildings. People make the dues. Nothing empty. No ideology, nothing. There is some big ones in New York, this and that. I'm talking about in the outskirts of the state of America, not in New York, not big cities. It's a dead. So you have to know it's not right or wrong. But bottom line, the Rambam here says two things. What do we see in this Rambam? Two things we saw. Number one, we saw that the issue they gave on Yain Nesech, they didn't give it an issue of Avodah Zarah, that is also Memashu with the Rabbanon. They gave it an issue of Isur Ano, that is only also Berevis. That's number one. Let's say with that also. Now also the issue is Ano. Ano has to be Ano Berevis. You don't get Malkes into that. Number two is, we see from this Rambam, that the Rambam holds that Christians, even in our days, Christians, Stam Yain of Christians considered Stam Yain today. And we don't say like Rashi, like the Goinim, that the Christians are not only, they don't do Yain Nesech anymore. The Rambam says no, Avodah Zarah means even do Yain Nesech, and therefore Stam Yain is also by Christians today. But we see from the Rambam that a Goy, individual Goy, this is the language we can read again the Rambam. The Rambam says, a Goy, v'chen kol Goy, she'ein azot kegoy neshmelim, which means I don't need a nation. Any Goy that's not worshipping idols, or like the Ishmaelim, the Arabs, they don't have Isur Ano on the Stam Yain. What? Okay, Ishmaelim don't, but a lot of Goyim do, not Ishmaelim. They don't believe in Christianity. So the Rambam makes a new group. Instead of making in Christians, old Christians that used to do Yain Nesech is also Bano. Today Christians don't do it. Only the Galach, only the priest. So ordinary wine from a normal Christian, the Rashi says it's not Stam Yain also Bano. The Rambam says no. Ordinary wine from a Goy, from a Christian, it's Yain Nesech even today. Even though they don't do it, doesn't make a chiluk if they don't do it today. Maybe because they worship idols, although they don't do nisuch, but they worship idols and the priest does. Maybe they'll come back to it, matter of time. As long as they didn't oikav Avodah Zarah, the Gzera is still there. But if the Goy itself is not oikav Avodah Zarah, like the Ishmaelim, there's no issue. So we see that the issue was on the Gavra, as the language of the Rosh Toises are Menaschim. Menaschim means the people themselves. When I have a look in halacha again, and halacha gimel. Halacha gimel. Yain agoyim she'ein anu yoyoidim im nisnasach or nisasach. Yain of goyim that I don't know. Yain of goyim that I know that they don't do yain nesach like Ishmaelim or goy that I know never was never an example. So you see, the Gzeira was on the Menashe. A group of people, or goy that is Menashe, now he has wine. I don't know if it's he's a type of guy that does nisuch. He's a Menashe guy. He does nisuch. Now he has wine. I don't know if he's did a nusach or not. Chacham made a Gzeira. You don't have to have benefit from it like yain nesech. But a goy that doesn't do nisuch, there's nothing what to be stopped making his yain nesech. It doesn't. He's not part of that group. He's an Ishmaeli. He's a Ben Noach. He's a Gertoisho. Or he's not an atheist. Or he's an American, barely non-religious Christian. Who knows what? He doesn't go even to the church. It's not part of it. Yes.
Aren't atheists considered idol worshippers because they worship their own desires? So that in a way that's idol worship.
Okay.
And what about low plug?
The Choy is saying a good point, because why when somebody breaks the Shabbos, a Jew that breaks the Shabbos in public, he's considered like Avodah Zarah, mumor is Avodah Zarah, because Avodah Zarah means you don't believe in Hashem, you believe in another God. A Jew, the Mechal Shabbos, he's worshiping himself, not worshiping God. So atheist is also like kind of he's not Avodah Zarah, worship something else, but is worshiping himself. Should be part of that category.
So my mamash is if someone does not believe in God, he's not a worshiper. According to what you just said.
That's his question. It's not a question. I think there's a difference. A Jew that's Mechabel Shabbos Mefaresi is out, and the Goy that doesn't believe in Christianity, doesn't believe in anything, is an atheist or he's a mebulbo or mixed up.
The atheists, they
Is
worship
that a
themselves.
worshiper? Is that Avodah Zarah?
They worship themselves.
You can't drink the Jews' wine, but you can drink the Goy's
Is
wine.
that Avodah Zarah? There's a big discussion to deal with that. Or is not.
כל הכועס כאילו בדזור, זה only כאילו.
Yeah, kilo. Right, it's not mamash. Okay, so let's summarize what we have here. Shitas HaRambam, we see. What do we see from the Rambam? Number one, we see from the Rambam that the Isur they gave us Tam Yenom of Isur Ano is only with like Isur Ano of all Isurim, all Isur Ano, not to have pleasure. And I think from where the Rambam got it, because if the main Gzeiras B'nai Seim is pleasure, the drink, Mishum B'nai Seim. So when they gave the Gzeira and Tam Yenom, Av Yain Nesech, they didn't give it an Isur of Avodah Zarah of Nesech, or real Yain Nesech, they gave Isur Ano, because the Ikar Gzeira is B'nai Seim, like a lot of Rishonim hold, that if the falls off the Gzeira of Avodah Zarah, if the Christians are not worshiping idols anymore, they don't do they're worshiping idols, but they don't do Yain Nesech, since they're part of the category of Avodah Zarah, although they don't worship idols, the Gzeira is still there. But that's what we see in the Rambam. But another thing, but we see that the type of Gzeira we gave, the type of Isur we gave on the Yain Nesech of Shlit Ano is Isur of like all Isur Ano, not Isur of Akum, of Avodah Zarah. I think the Svara should be, because since the main Gzeira is not to marry the daughters, that's the Ikar Gzeira. Although the Moisiv are not Gzeira, not to have any benefit from it because of Yain Nesech, but the Gzeiras are not to be involved with the girls. So they need the extra Tosefes, but there's a Tosefes and the Ikar Gzeira of Noiseim. So therefore, they gave the Geder of the Isur of Ano, they gave it the Isur of drinking like any Isur.
Why you don't say
It's
that?
the sin.
Shema needs it.
Sheman is not.
Why does he say
But it's
Shema?
not a Sophic. It's Chash.
Yeah, but it sounds more like the Ron.
Sounds like the no, so that the Shish, the Shriach. Shriach.
Why you don't say the
Ron
same?
says it's because somebody might make a mistake.
Mistake what? Since people would think the way the Achronim said that Moshe explains the Ran, he said like this. Since people would think that the reason why it should be also why you don't drink Stam Yelim because it's Nesech, and they see we're having benefit from it. There's also we let have benefit from real Yain Nesech. Because of the mistake of people seeing, that's why the rabbis prohibit Ano and Stam Yelim. That people would think that the Isur of Shtia of Stam Yelim is because of Avodah Zarah. It's a mistake of a Meratzi.
Doesn't that have to do with the Rambam?
That what?
Shema. He says Shema. Maybe it was Yain Nesek.
He says you don't know if it's Yain Nesech or not. You're not to enjoy it.
Maybe it's Yain Nesek.
Shem as in Dalet. Kari ze asur.
Ba'ano.
Shema nisechot.
En anu yoidim, you don't know. Right? So you see from the Rambam that the Isur of Ano is a chash of Yain Nesech. Not a sophic Yain Nesech. Chash of Yain Nesech.
What we said last week, last week.
Chash of Yain Nesech. So definitely it's also be'etzem. Also be'etzem. He has to do tshuva on it. If he drank it, that's number one. Number two, we see from the Rambam that they gave it the Isur of Ano. They didn't give it the Isur of Avodah Zarah. Since where's his question? It gets a Mishnah. He says why the Rambam here says Revis and by real Yain Nesech says Kol Shu. So he answers here the Isur is not Yain Nesech. The Isur is Gzera Midiva Soifin. That's his language. He says, you know why? Bestam Yenom She'enon im Gzera Soifrim Shiur Keshar Mashu. What can I answer that? The kasha was by real Yain Nesech is Mashu and he is a Chash of Yain Nesech. It's also being Mashu. He says no, since it's only rabbinic, the rabbis gave it a Isur of any Isur Ano. But why? If it's Chash of Yain Nesech, why? So I'm answering this question. I'm giving an answer now by saying that, like we saw in Tosfos, that the Ikar Gzeira was Noiseyah. But Mishum Noiseyah, they couldn't oiser Chashash of Yain Nesech. Makesha. But since it's so chomur of Yain makes connected people, like the Rivot says, connects people, so a more issue you put on it, the more the rabbis are happy. And in order to have or to toilet for Ameratzim, like the Ramban says, Tolu B'Yain Nesech, a Tliya for Ameratzim, or they say Min Rabbanon, because of the so chomur of Noisem and fire of wine, here they choishes for Yain Nesech. Mitzad, Chash normally, the rabbis not choishes Yain Nesech. It's only 2%, 5%, 10%. Chash Rochoy, the rabbis don't have to worry. Why the rabbis worry? Because of Noisem. So that's why they gave it Isur Ano, because Isur was Noisem. He gives him his marriage, Ano as Ivis.
You don't need Shema. Leave out the Shema.
I mean, no, the answer is like Tosfos. Without the Shema, just Noisem alone, I wouldn't make Exeir.
You just said you would.
Without Noisem alone, if I had just Noisem alone, I would say only Isur Shtia, not Isur Ano. Now that it is a chash of Yain Nesech, Shem and Nisnasech, the rabbi said, because I want to prohibit it, as much I distance myself away from the wine, of going the better, the more chumah, the better. Because he distanced himself away from their daughters. So the Ikar Takona is Noisem. And the added factor, the Ikar Sib is Noisem, but the Tosefes, or what they toil on to make an Isu, was chash of Yain Nesech. Nafkamina, what's a nafkamina? If the Yain Nesech is botel, like the Christians in Europe, they do Avodah Zarah, but they don't do Yain Nesech. The Rambam says still also. Why? Because the Ikar Gzeira is still there. The same guy, you're not allowed to drink his wine, because he might marry his daughters. So the Gzeira was never botel. Although the Nisuk is botel, but the Ikar Gzeira is not botel. Of drinking. So therefore, we said even though the Christians, since the Ovid Avodah Zarah, although they don't do Yain Nesech and Ovid Avodah Zarah, we never mevatel the Isu. But if the guy is never Ovid Avodah Zarah, Ishmaeli, never Avodah Zarah, Bechlal,
or he touched the wine, my wine,
or he touched my wine, it is not Ovid Avodah Zarah. So then the Rabbi said it's allowed. Any guy or any Ishmaeli, it's allowed. What's the chiluk? What's the difference if the Gzeira is never bottled, they don't worship, they don't do Yain Nesech, so why Ishmaeli? You have to say the Gzeira is the Menaseh. And the Menaseh. So this Menaseh, potential, but it's not Menaseh, today they don't do Nisu. So I don't care, but they still have Avodah Zarah. They don't do Nisu, they don't do Zarah, the Gzeira is still there. And B'Yisrael is still there. And that's the Gzeira. But if I have Noisem, but I don't have Bichlal any Yain Nesech because it's a type of person, it's a combination. When the rabbis added the Isur Ano, Mishum Noisem, it's only on the type of person, on Menasech and the Menasech. But they didn't add Isur Ano on people which are not Menasech. They did Isur Shtia, but they didn't add on Isur Ano on not on Menasech. On the Menasech, the person is Menasech, or he's looking at Avodah Zarah, you have a sof in Chash, maybe he did it, so he put a Gzeira on it. Now what happens if the Menasech, he stopped Menasech, he's a Menasech, he's a Goy of Avodah Zarah. He stopped the Menasech. Not because he doesn't believe in Avodah Zarah. He's not an Ishmael, he doesn't believe in Avodah Zarah. He believes in Avodah Zarah. And he worships Avodah Zarah every Sunday. But he stopped doing Nisu. Then I'm saying he can.
It's Talui and his Moksham.
No, people in those areas, and like the Rishonim say, people stop ordinary doing Nisu. Only the Galach, only the priest does it in his play, not everybody else.
Question,
So I'm saying like this, it's a combination. You see from Mishnas Rambam, it's a combination of things. You see from the Rambam that white Christians, the Rambam says, you're not allowed to drink Stam Yenom Bizman Hazeh. And the Rambam himself says that one who keeps 7 halachah laws, or an Arab in nowadays, there's no Isur Stam Yenom, Isur Ano. What's the difference? Today Christians don't do Nisur, and Arabs don't need Nisur. What's the difference? The answer, see, and one second, I want to explain my question. And you can't say the Gzeira like Tosfos says or the Rosh and the Menaschi. The Gzeras on the people.
No menaskim.
If it's Menaschim, the same way Ishmael is not Menasech, and the one who keeps another not Menasech, also today Christians are Menaschim. So it should be the same. So you can't say Menasech, that's the combination. Menaschim is on the Gavra Menaschim. And Menaschim that are idol worshiper, even though he doesn't do Nisuch anymore, but he's an idol worshiper. He's only Avodah Zarah. The Rambam says a guy like that, even though he's not Menasech anymore, I suppose it is why the Gzeira still stays.
What do you do with the spell? The yain is.
So my svor is why is it? I just want to finish, and then I'll get into the svor. My understanding is, since I see from the Rambam that the Isur Ano is Isur An Revis, which they gave it as Mitzal B'noi Sen, Isur Ano pleasure, so that's the Gzeira. So they said a goy that is only Avodah Zarah, even though he's not Menasech, but he's Avodah Zarah, he's a person Avodah Zarah. So not only I'm not going to drink his wine because I marry his daughters, I also want to oyster his wine because of Yain Nesech. Although he's not doing any more Yain Nesech, but he only stopped to do Yain Nesech, but he still continued doing Avodah Zarah. So since he's continued doing Avodah Zarah, though he doesn't do Yain Nesech, but he's from the group of Avodah Zarah, that's the group he's from, so he's still part of the Gzeira, never bottled the Gzeira. But if he's out of that group, because he keeps Seven Noach laws, or he's out of that group because he's an Arab Ishmael, so that he doesn't do, he's not worshipping idols with clown. He's out of the group of that.
Do they have to pour it, or is it drinking it?
It doesn't need. The point is, you see from the Rambam that even though the Christians stop pouring wine over the Zohar, but since they are from the nation,
but they drink it. Sometimes they don't pour it, but the congregation drinks it.
Congregation drinks it, but they don't do it at home.
Right, but is drinking a problem? Is it called Nasek?
No, ordinary wine of Christian. We talk about Shittas Rambam. The Rambam is a very weird cheat. We had the Rashi, and Rashbam says, since the Christians don't pour anymore, they worship idols, but they don't pour anymore ordinary Yain Nesech, the Gzeira should be bottled. That's Rashi. The Rambam is a weird cheat, it's a mixed cheat here. The Rambam says, if you come from the nation or group of people, you're a goy that you believe in Seven Noach laws. It's part of your religion. Or you're an Arab Ishmaeli that you don't believe in Avodah Zarah. You're not an idol worshiper. So not only you don't do nisuch, you don't worship idols b'chlal. You're out of that box. And the type of person like this was never ever a gzeira of nisuch of yaines. But if you're an idol worshiper, even though you stopped doing nisuch, but you're still the group of idol worshiper, the gzeira is still there. Why? If the gzeira is on the gavra, and I'm the gavra, I'm not doing yain nesech because I don't believe in yain nesech, I don't believe in Avodah Zarah, I'm out of the box. So the gzeira is on the menaschim, on the gavra, like Ishmaeli, or like Bnei Noach. So we never made the gzeira on the person, on the gavra, because he's not a part of it. So goy, Christian, and worship Avodah Zarah, but he's not in the gavra of nisuch anymore. He's a gavra of Avodah Zarah. But he's not a gavra of nisuch. We say the gzeira still stays. What's a svara? But he's not doing nisuch anymore. There's no gzeira of nisuch on it. So we worship idol. That's the guy. Who asked this question? Toras says, Rosh, yes, what's the gzeira? So they said, what they answer? They answer, since on this guy, there's a gzeira of Bnei Seyem. So you can't say that half the gzeira fell off, half the gzeira still stays. So how can I permit? But if that's true, also Ishmaeli, an Arab, or Ben Noach, that you cannot drink his wine, why the gzeira there is bottled?
It never was.
It never was. So why? But a Christian, for me, what do I care? Because I'm a nation of worshiping idols, or I'm going to worship idols. But for me, that never knew nisuch. I'm never part of it. Why if I'm going over the zone?
There's a difference if they have the gzeira was done on a certain people.
You have stoma.
Or if the gzeira, if it's no longer shayach on those
If
people.
I was a Christian, if I was a Christian and now I became a Ben Noach, so why the gzeira is canceled? Right? It was never on me. Because if I believe in Seven Noach laws, I don't believe in Avodah Zarah, I'm out of it.
No, that's it. That's the
kind of
before.
person.
Because I changed, I'm a different person. So also Christian, they used to do nisuch.
that's not different.
One second. Also Christians used to do nisuch. Now they don't do nisuch at all anymore. So it's different Christians. So don't make zayd on it.
That's not different.
Why not?
Still doing Avodah
Because they
Zarah.
might go back to it.
They might be, the money will go, even though there's two different things. One, you benefit a non-idol worshiper, even though the money will not benefit the idol. But when you do business with a Christian, even though he doesn't worship, the money will still go back to the church.
I know, but it's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about doing business
So,
with
but
money.
it's
We're talking about ordinary wine, stam yenom, to get benefit from the ordinary wine.
Rabbi, to be fair, Bnei Noahide are not the same. I'm not the same level as Muslims because at least the Bnei Noah like.
Bnei Noach are much higher than Muslims.
Yes. So why?
Because Muslims don't believe in God of Israel.
So why can we still accept wine for them?
I saw a big Afghanan in Haifa. There's no God than God of, there's no God in the world, only God of Islam.
Oh
I
my.
wanted to break that thing, but I was so, I got very angry, but I saw what they're killing for. They're trying to say, they have a problem, the Jewish people also believe in one God. Same God, so how can they ask for us to be destroyed, we believe in the same belief. So I have to say, there's no God, only God of Israel. So no one believe in God of Israel. So in the essence, could be the Avodah Zarah. Today, yes. Some people hold, I saw Avodah Yosef says, that the Goy today, Arabs today don't believe in God of Israel. When they touch wine, it's also ba'anah too.
Today.
Depends which type of Arabs they are.
Yeah, but Islam
And if they don't believe in God of Israel, it's China. Not so simple.
No what?
I must stop and tell you a story, shocking story, that happened to one of the boys in Yeshiva. I told them some of the story. Shocking story, you won't believe the story. Shocking, shaking to the wits. There was a boy in the Yeshiva that went with 3 boys in the Yeshiva a couple of years ago. They went to Barcelona to see a play, a soccer play. And they went to bar game and went to bars, and they met a non-Jewish girl. A non-Jewish girl invited them to her house. And they start talking, this and that, and she offered him wine. And this boy said, I'm allowed to drink wine, I'm going. Not kosher. But he's there to do Aveya. He's not going to drink wine. She started convincing him to wait a couple of days, another day, this and that. They started doing another day, whatever, they're trying to warm themselves up. But he doesn't drink wine. Lamaisi was there for 3 days. He got a short ticket, $200 for the game. He told her, no, I'm sorry, I don't drink wine. Another thing he said, she said, you know what, don't drink wine. But I have here a bottle of water that the priest gave me. And if you want to be with me, I have to throw this water on you.
He's a Catholic.
He says, what's wrong? What's the big deal? Let it be her water. What is in his head? Her head? You know, I don't care, but
Conversion,
he said, you know what, I don't want to do that. And he left her. But what happens, that's not the end of the story. About a few months later, she calls him up. She sends him WhatsApp, calls him up. Says, here, I'm in Israel. I came. I'm in a hotel here in Jerusalem. Come visit me. She ran after him. She begged him, come be with me, be with me. Yeah, he said, he went. One day, he's all strong, feels good. Second day, strong. Third day, he fell. When he went out of the room, he realized today is Erev Yom Kippur. This was an Maseches Metshuva. He comes to the Ashri we daven him, Kevin David HaMelech. And he has all his emotions. This is like floating. You can feel, what did I do? Where am I? Who am I? I'm Jewish, I'm a what I'm doing. And he has such tremendous pain in his heart. So he told the Rabbi, he says, when I'm now learning the laws of San Yenam and all that, he said, how true it is. The first time that I was makpid not to drink Stam Yenam, I was saved. I was saved. And afterwards, I wasn't careful, I fell down. This is all true. Stam Yenam Mishubra is saying, don't drink the wine, you marry the daughters. Shem Yishmor. True story happened in Yeshiva. Very scary, very scary, very scary. So you see those things, the barriers that we have, not drink the wine, all those things, that saves a lot of problems. All those barriers save a lot of problems. Yes.
You say that, you could say that the isser of wine that's poured for Avodah Zarah is it's not the etzem the wine, it's that it's an Avodah Zarah meiser. Not the wine itself, it's just a meiser, it's no gay, it's a wine. So mela, it's not the problem the wine, it's the problem with the Avodah Zarah that's connected to the wine. So therefore, that's why the gezerah doesn't go up, because it's not on the wine, it's on the Avodah Zarah that's no gay to the wine.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So, we still in the question? Estamos en la pregunta,
If it goes in the garbage, then it's the Avodah Zarah, it's not the wine.
I also put forward, if we're not allowed to gain any pleasure from the wine, we can't touch the wine, we can cool your skin. So, kudos.
It's not the point of the wine, it's the person, not the wine. It's just mamela, it's the wine. It just happens to be that it goes there on the wine, but it's not because of the wine, it's because the person is involved with the wine, not because the wine itself.
If the wine is part of a ritual, then they become part of the ritual when they participate.
And they're part of Avodah Zarah, that's true, that's one of the rituals, that's part of Avodah Zarah, there's a lot of parts, this is one of the parts.
So you're saying you just join the process when you become, when you drink that wine,
Yeah,
is part of you.
Let's go back. Comes the Beis Yosef, are reading 2, 4, 6, 7 lines at the bottom. Va'ani Tomeh. Comes the Beis Yosef, Eliyahu. I wanted to hear this, it's very important to hear. The last 7 lines of the Beis Yosef in the 3rd page of the Diaspora Yeshiva sheets. 7 lines at the bottom. The Beis Yosef says, Va'ani Tomeh, I'm wondering. Al divrei Rashbam b'shem Rashi. How can the Rashbam write down the goyim bizman hazeh, goyim in our days, and regilin and nasa, they are not constant to do nisuk Avodah Zarah. Though Chazinon we see, ani goyim, those goyim, the menaschu yain, they do yain nesech, velechem oini lohem. That's bread of the Avodah Zarah. V'yitzu Avodah Zarah, that's the essence of the Zarah. He says, what do you mean? What do you mean that goyim don't do yain nesech? What is mass? They take wine, and that's the bread of the thing. And that's the essence of the Zohar, is this wine. They do Nisuk of the Zohar. So how come the Rashbam and Rambam, everybody says there's no do Nisuk of the Zohar anymore? They do Nisuk of the Zohar. They do it. Maybe that's a svor of the Rambam. Although ordinary person doesn't do it, only the Galach, but they still do it. And he's part of that religion, since he's worshiping idols, and he's part of the religion of a Galach that does it. So he's part of it. So it's not bottle, although it's less, because ordinary people do it, but the Galach still does it. So maybe that will be Chanera Mihirebel, like the Kasha of the Beis Yosef. And he answers, V'yeh Shloima, Mikol Mokoim lo mikre ayi nesech. They want to say the wine of what they do in Avodah Zarah is not yain nesech. Why? Keivan de lo yisharef chilei kamer Avodah Zarah. They don't pour it in front of Avodah Zarah. But they nisuch ponim, like a nisuch in front of the face of Avodah Zarah. Elo sha'galach, rather the priest, makrivo, he brings it close, come out of the Zohar. V'achakach shotei, afterwards he drinks it. Nei de mitzvah mishudvar Zohar, true is called tikroives, bringing close to the Zohar. Mikol mokoim le'mikrei avoid the nisuch. There's not an avoid of nisuch, avoid of spnim. The Gemara says, what makes avoid the Zohar to be also of avoid the Zohar? Only we are for avoid the splim. Is kitu, nisuch, ishtachavoya, and zibuach. Slaughter, kitu means ktoyes, fragrance. Nisuch, they pour the wine, bending down to Avodah Zarah, or slaughtering Avodah Zarah. Has to be, the Gemara says, I break it, stick, I cut here, it's like breaking. It has to be those type of, if not those avodas, it's not Avodah Zarah. So here he says, they didn't pour the Avodah Zarah, they just bring it close. Bring it close, and they don't slaughter it. It's not Isa Avodah Zarah. Lo imikraya avodah nisuk. That's what Rashbam says. Says they don't do nisu. I would say that Rashbam is saying that an ordinary goy doesn't do nisu, although the galach doesn't, right?
Good.
He says no. First of all, ordinary goy doesn't do it, and even the galach is not doing pouring anymore. They just bring it closer. The fragrance, they go like this with the fingers, who knows what, and they pour, but they don't do the mice of pouring or whatever it is. He says, Umiyu, however, Anu Yevoni, but the Greeks. You heard about the Greek Orthodox?
Yeah.
The Greek Orthodox, you heard about them? Anu Yevoni. The Chazilanu Deloishoti Chamro Ado Sigalach. The Greeks don't drink any wine until the priest comes. Vezoirek olive mine tmeim, he throws on the barrel of wine some water, impure water. Umis'av imamayim atneim, and they mix those waters with the yain, and then they said, okay, they bring before, like say, they bring a rabbi to do tumas and maises for the yekev. They bring the galach, the priest, the Greeks, and he pours and he springs it in the water, and that's all. Like this girl, she had a small bottle of water. So you want to be with me? I have to sprinkle this water on you. Sprinkle.
It's Catholic.
Yeah. It's like Catholics do their baptisms.
Those guys down there, right?
Yes, those guys right here. Oyonire comes and says, looks to me. Shezrika samayim shezokim boya v'nisuch. Pouring or throwing is avoid a spleen. I have wine, I have water. That was nisuch on water. They didn't do nisuch on wine, but they do nisuch on water, and then it's mixed with wine. He says no. They don't menasich the wine, the shofchoy, so what do you want to say? But it's mixed with water, and the water is the nisuch. The Gemara Avodah Zarah says wine and water and wine is bottled.
There's no wine.
No wine.
The wine's bottled from the water.
It's bottled from the wine. So Mimele is bottled.
We don't say that the Avodah Zarah is not butter. One another.
What?
We say that the yain of Avodah Zarah is not butter.
No, butter
But it's
is
not wine of Avodah Zarah.
It's not yain of the Zohar, it's water of nisuch. When I have water of nisuch mixed with wine, the Gemara 9 Gimel says, read the Gemara 9 Gimel. The Gemara says like this. כל האיסור שבתורה מין בין במינו ובין שלא במינו כנוס לטעם. חוץ מתבל ויין נסך. יין נסך, there's no ביטול. במינו במשהו. The same species משהו. שלא ינילון, I have wine going to vodka, wine and going to whiskey. No, it's the time. If it's 60 of taste, less than 60 of taste, more than 60 is mutter. Has no time. So can I buy vodka, whiskey without a hechsher? No, because maybe it has some taste of wine. Has no time. Yain nesech is different. What about stam yainom? Is equal to yain nesech?
Stop.
We do about yain nesech. What about stam yainom?
Stop the annual employee.
Yes. חוץ מטבל ויין נסך, במינו משהו כשלא מינו לא יסנטה.
That's really the swore if it's part of the gezerah or it's the Netzias.
The Gemara says like this. Moses says wine with water. Finish with this.
Yain nesech is mamish Avodah Zarah.
Yes.
Moshe, bishlo yain nes mishum chumud Avodah Zarah. So, v'shal stam yain what be the din? Rashi says, what di mayim b'mayim?
Where? It's an Amud Aleph, right?
Amud Beis. I'm giving Amud Beis.
I'm reading again Amud Beis. The Mishnah says, Yain beyain umayim b'mayim b'kolshu. Yain b'mayim umayim beyain b'no yisen tam. Bin she'eno mino. That's the Mishnah. Mayim Avodah Zarah that mix with normal water. Mayim b'mayim. Yain b'yain, mayim b'mayim is b'kolshu. Because min b'mino is kolshu. But yain b'mayim, which is min she'eno mino, is no isen tam. Ze aklal, min b'mino emashu, min no isen tam. This is the Mishnah. And the Gemara says, יין נסך שנובל לבוי ונובל שם קיטון של מים, רואי מסייעת כאילו שאינו והשאר מים, רובי לא מבט לימויסו. ראשון לשמר קיטון של מים תחילה, אבל נופל שם קיטון של מים תחילו, מוצא מינס מינו ונאו. says, הגדילו בשנוף על יין נטר בסויף, כבר בוטל יין נסך במים, שהמים רובו עולו, ויועסה לבדו, שהוסבט לגמרי שוב ונכוי זה ונאו. רבי יוחנן אומר, אפילו הגדילו באיסור אויל והמים נופלו תחילו להמרין על מוצא מינס מילה. Okay, this is a Gemara about if water was first. So he says, Avel emayin beyayin de batli. Depends what's the case. But yayin, probably you have most wine is min shemin is botel. So we have a bitul. So bottom line is, the Bes Yosef says, although the Galachs do Avodah Zarah and they take wine and they make makiv d'Avodah, but they don't do nisuch. And even the Greeks that do nisuch, they do nisuch with water, not with the wine. And the water is botel. Mimele, they don't do Avodah Zarah today. So that's what the Rashbam meant. The Rashbam meant that the Christians don't do yayin nesach anymore. Means even the Galach doesn't do yayin nesach. So why the Rambam held that since the Christians don't have Zohar chai today nobody does nisuch anymore. The simple person do, even the Galach doesn't do. Why the Rambam says it's also?
That's the right of Durban.
What?
The right of Durban.
The Rabbanon. No, the Rabbanon is the why?
To be Gezerah.
So or maybe because he was once the Gezerah is there, it's not botel, even though the time is off. Like those are holes in botel. Or like I said, because the Gezerah of Bnei Sem still stays. That's the Gezerah.
That's the Siba.
And that's a Siba and have to be a group of another. But if let's say they agree, the Ishmaelim, the Arabs, or they worship or they believe in the Shem Noyah, he said the Rambam is there out of it. So which means that not because the Tam is botel. Because the Gezerah was never on them. The Gezerah was on Menaschi. Even though today don't do Nisik anymore, so there should be another group. Because the Galach does it? No. Because since they're worshipping idols, so people that worship idols that years ago do Nisuch, even though those worship idols don't do Nisuch now, still they're part of the Gezerah. Maybe because we might go back to it because they worship idols. Have a svor. Yes, I'm listening.
The Avodah Zarah, the special halachah, no, chutz Avodah Zarah, b'chshava Avodah Zarah is mitzaref l'maisa. The mon kiddush. So mainly by going, they want to do Avodah Zarah. So now
they don't know they don't want to do the reality, but they have still thoughts.
And mainly is mishkan l'maisa.
Oh, nice word, but I don't know what we have to find halachah. Okay. I print out here Ta'aroives yain bevodka.
Make a copy of it.
Yeah, we have to, but I'm not. I thought about it. I'm not going to give it now because our next sugiya Bezrat Hashem, I'm giving it out right now, is yain mevushal. Here, what is our next sugiya? Yain bishul yain. Here, give it out. The barrel is for you. Rabbi Soch is for you. Give it Rabbi Soch. Rabbi Yosef is for you. I took out just few, but those not going to be here during the week. Who else is not going to know? You for you. And Moshe, you're not going to be here. I'm giving it to you. I'm going to give out more copies of it. I get right now. The subject is Yain Mevushal. Now you should know, in Bishul we have vodka, we have brandy. Brandy, they take the wine and they cook it, and they change it to another form. The glaklos, mefustar. It's a very white, so I just printed out in here the Rishonim, which is the foundation. But I'm going to want to print out afterwards all the tshuvas of Rav Vosner, of Moshe Feinstein. There's a lot of tshuvas and many different forms of different wines and cooking and this. There's a lot of parts to it. So we're going to go more into the world of bitul, changing form of wine, cooking. Today somebody told me they start cooking with laser.
Yes.
With laser. Laser used to be with microwave, with laser. What is cooking? What's the level of cooking with chashivus? There is, because it's the Rosh says because it's meshun is no gzeira, or it's because not choshu. What is the problem? This is machlekes showing me in the sugiya. Why mevushal is no issue of stam yeino? So it's a gemara here in the end of the page, in the next page. Again, Chavtes Amud Aleph below, and it goes on to Lamed Amud Aleph above. You see the Toises on top, Chavtet Amud Aleph below, there's a Toises, and Lamed Amud Aleph above, there's a Toises. And the Rishonim here, the Rosh, and see the papers we gave you. Those are the foundation. We're going to go on to it more, to the Rishonim and Achonim, until all the truths. We will do it a week or two, till we finalize this, a lot of those laws and ideas. It's very important halachas.